What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of my Hungarian Let's Play. And yeah, our truce is coming up with the Ottomans, guys, in a year's time. However, I have actually decided, since our power projection is high enough to where we're getting the monarch points, I don't think I'm actually going to be declaring on the Ottomans. You know, I have tried to continue to expand even though we've been in pretty bad shape. But I think that is actually the compromise that I'm going to make. We are going to continue expanding, but not into the Ottoman Empire. Because the reason is, he's got 100,000 troops. He's got 100,000 troops, so we would need to really ramp up everything to be able to take him on. But then when we consider the sheer size and scale of the rebel factions down here, I kind of need like 40k at least for a while to be fighting these rebel factions. If you guys see what I'm saying. So, yeah, I think considering power projection is not an issue, that's going to compel me to actually not do that. However, I am going to enforce religion's unity on Bavaria. The sooner we do these, quite frankly, the sooner we gain more imperial authority for less heretics. And we're chilling. At the moment, we are chilling. Man, our ruler is so good. Our heir is not so good, eh? Anna? But she's okay. At least our ruler is quite young. I think Anna is good enough to where we don't need to go crazy. Yeah, once we win this war, we have some prestige to release some nations, which is cool. I would like to release some more nations, but we're actually running out of opportunities. The Turkish miners cores have disappeared. Same goes for the Greeks. Same goes for Moldavia, as well as any Russians. So it's essentially, maybe we can get that nation, but it's essentially Circassia at this point that we can release, and Sicily, and Sardinia. Alrighty. So let's try and release this province for Sardinia, so it's 10 development, and see if we can make him a free city. Really struggling to make any free cities at all. Yes, indeed. Alright, so we're in the midst of a short little war here, hoping to be able to peace out Milan here, and Holland here fairly quickly, which will make peace inside the empire again, and we'll be gaining imperial authority at quite a decent rate. Also, our overextension is about to disappear, which means our economy should be in much better shape. Aha, let's go for the yearly inflation reduction over the unrest. That inflation is one of the biggest upsets, quite frankly, with the amount of... Guys, this just costs too much diplomatic points. It's really kind of pathetic to not have a CB, but I'm actually just going to take the one province, which we can add to the empire, and that gives us the claim on 3 more provinces. And I think in that case, are we just piecing out? The sooner we peace out, the sooner there's peace inside the empire. Trying to break his relations with members of the empire. Yeah, let's just get out. Alrighty. So a lot of that money went to our allies, but still, we got a little bit of money from that war. We're getting closer to paying off another loan. Cool, and let's fabricate on him. But firstly, let us release Sardinia here. Just double check it's inside the empire. Yes, it is. And hopefully it doesn't have a militaristic leader, which it does. Man, it's so hard to get these 3 cities. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so guys, if we're not going to war against the Ottomans this episode, got to look out for other opportunities to spend our admin rate. Got to keep it up. We're not going to be taking out for -5. So it might be Morocco. It might be Morocco. This is enough to take him out. In fact, we could move this guy over here in no time at all. Although we probably have some Lithuanian rebels coming along here shortly. Do some adding to the empire, some provinces. 0.21, that's what I'm talking about, dude. We're finally beginning to get there. Yeah, now I should be trying to actually ally Lubeck to try to enforce religion on him and break my diplomatic relations with Brabant now that he's Catholic. But of course, we've got to keep Prussia happy, so I shouldn't be doing any more enforcing for some time here. The Liberty Desire from Russia hasn't popped up in quite some time, which is really cool. And I think if we're unable to spend our military on... maybe we should tech up, actually. I was going to say we should do a little bit more cheeky development here, and we can turn off the support. That makes us money. It's probably worth it, eh? We're gaining 8 military per month, which is fairly good. I'm just wondering, does he have any other grasslands or farmlands that is cheaply developed? Steppe is not that expensive. But pretty much no, right? I know I'm not going to the map mode because I'm pretty confident there's not. I've played a lot in Russia. So let's do 2 there. That was only 60. Oh yeah, he really likes that, man. Wow, that helps our economy big time. Yeah, we are spending military on it, but this is still the cheapest, right? 40. Alright, that's as far as we can develop that. So we've turned it off, and he's at 39. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Speaking of Russia, he's 53% of the way integrated. I was going to move these guys away, but the air separatists are about to revolt, and they're up here. We'll keep them around then in that case. Hungarian Africa is looking pretty nice, guys. So we're going to be going into Morocco. Who else can we go into? People have requested that I take Corfu and Crete. I'll make sure to do that if I can, guys, in my next war against the Ottomans, because I know how it is. It irritates you. I can see that. It irritates me as well, quite frankly. And I am interested in freeing up a Diplo slot in general, but we don't have one really, unless we enforce Lubeck to grab this Indian, Jaunpur. And honestly, I'd like to grab Great Britain as well, as Great Britain is one of those nations. Well, he's actually got, his dynasty is in question, and might be able to PU him. That'd be really cool if we could PU him. I can also release another nation of the empire. We've got Sicily as an option, so these are enough to be a free city-state. Let's do the lowest development, which is 15. Can we make you a free city? Sir, he's militaristic as well, of course he is. Alrighty. But it's another prince within inside the empire, and we need the prestige to release yet another one. God dang it. Liege is a vassal. I didn't realize that was the case. It's probably been that way for a while. Alright, so let's see how big this air separatist is, because the obvious choice is to go in against Morocco. 23. Alright, we should be able to handle that with the 1 stack. Let's go in against Morocco. And although I don't think we can fully annex him, he's going to be so small that it will be very easy to defeat him in an upcoming war. And it's just going to be another easy place to spend admin in the future. We'll also gain some prestige, and I should actually try to take the coast. We'll see if we might not be able to fully annex them, but I might be able to take the coast entirely. And if we do that, then, you know, taking the coast entirely is going to allow us so that he doesn't, how do you say, raid. He doesn't barbarify our coastline, the bastard. Okay, cancel our royal marriage here to try to... So we're not over our Diplo limit. There we go. And just like that, we can force on Lubeck, which is exactly the intention. However, it's getting to the point where our alliance might break with Prussia. So we want to avoid that. It's a damn shame, man. Our colonial activities, I was hoping, would be slightly more successful than we have been, guys. I actually don't think, apart from... Well, hang on, we can piss off the Pope a little bit, right? Yeah, I could make another colony, like in North America here, to try to get that... merchant a little bit sooner. I was going to say, apart from Cuba or the East Coast, I don't actually think we can reach anywhere with our colonist. However, once this one finishes, which it's about to, that might enable us to be able to reach one of these areas. If I do discover it, that is. Maybe not. Oh, man. Maybe I should throw a guy down here. That would increase our colonial range. No, I think I'm going to be content trying to get this merchant up. So this is 10 development. Let's do that. Yeah, if we can get... Well, hang on. Maybe there's higher development here. That's fine. If we can get that merchant up, that will help out our economy. So I'm content doing that. But I should throw a diplomat down in the Pope then. In that case, we kind of don't really have a diplomat free. One will be called back from Prussia here shortly. Yeah, another thing I got to keep in mind is that he might develop his coastline province here, and we can make him a free city as well, Catalonia. I'm making tons of money at the moment with turning that off, the support duties in Russia. So that's really good. If we're making almost 40 a month, guys, well, that's of course without the overextension. Going to be able to pay off those, the debtoroo, which is exactly what I want to see. Uh-oh. Many more revolts here coming down the line. Big revolt. I think what I'll try to do here is declare, get this started, and just smash these Moroccans. I wonder how many forts they actually have. Quickly try to smash some of these Moroccans to give us some war score and really put them on the back foot, and then maybe sit on the one fort they have. It would be a shame if he made some allies or something like that, you know? Use our best sieger. We are at our cap. I think I might hire some more troops, guys. We are at our manpower cap. I mean, we are in need of them. And it's so annoying. There was just an atrocious amount of unrest, and these guys are taking forever, so I walk away and they spawn instantly. But it's like, man, they took so long to spawn. This game is so irritating like that sometimes, just the little things, but it's typical, you know? By the way, we can also integrate the knights in Cyprus very easily, very quickly, very easily. But, uh-oh. We're not gaining any Diplo per month. Jeez, I might have to focus Diplo or something like that in the future. As long as we overextend. It's because I grabbed this. Yeah. Shoot, I think I have to focus Diplo. I really don't want to, but if we're not gaining any, that's not good, dude. That's really not good. I'm just going to chill for now, but that's not good. Wow, 10% tax. Cool. Even more monies. 10% tax modifier to our really good ruler right now. 10% tax is something that I'd usually be like pretty meh and upset with, honestly. But when you're in this kind of debt, our nation is going to become really powerful, guys, if we start operating, you know, in a fashion that we're not completely broke. So we can get a little bit of a better insight here when we haven't got the overextension as to who would vote for us. And yeah, a lot of these guys are Catholics that are just not that happy with us. So cool. Obviously, Prussia's the big one. Who else is the big one? Bohemia. The fact that he's our ally and good relations, he's not voting for us, that's not good. That's not good. It's with Diplo Rep as well. Interesting. Wow, amazing amount of trust with him as well. That's interesting that we don't get his vote. That's part of the reason I keep re-rolling our missions. I'm wondering that, you know, if we can get one of those just cheeky ideas, missions to, hey, relations with Prussia, that's perfect. We want to see that. What am I trying to say? I want to see if we can get a mission like improve relations with someone random and gain Diplo reputation. The other thing is, guys, if we haven't revoked by the time we integrate Russia, then we get 10 years of the negative Diplo. So integrating Russia is going to allow us to add 1 billion provinces to the empire. But it's also going to means that a nation like Prussia or Bohemia might not vote for us because of the -3 Diplo. That's really significant. Diplo reputation. A little bit feels bad, sad man. Feels just a little bit bad, sad. So I will try... Uh-oh. God dang it. I will try to revoke before we integrate Russia. Quite frankly, we'll try to revoke ASAP. We're getting near to having the amount of imperial authority that we require. However, I want to improve Cuba's tariffs because it's just so much. Yeah, but we got 200 relations and he's at 22. I think... I'm going to be a little bit careful there. We don't want to go overboard. Okay. Now, these guys should have bad tech, I think. Right? Fighting in Marsh, though. Play a little bit safer there. I want to just go in against them even though we're outnumbered. Because those Africans had really bad tech. I think, no, yeah, I think they will just have really bad tech. I think. Let's just kill these fools. It was like 14. So, oh my goodness. No. No, they have our tech. Alrighty. So we obviously finished coring them. We will retreat here. That's okay. We've got the manpower to take this kind of losses. That's fine, because we want to just chill for a little bit anyways. Annoyed there, though. We must have finished coring. I thought maybe my understanding is lacking, but I thought because the revolt was from when they were being cored, that they had their tech and not ours. But apparently they have ours. So, you know, F this game sometimes, quite frankly. I mean, you take out a little faction and then it's like, it's the end of the world apocalypse. Getting closer and closer to being able to pay off another loan, which of course, most of these loans have been extended for so long that the interest is really quite massive. So even when we pay one single loan off, it will most likely have a pretty beneficial effect on the economy overall. we're doing really well in the economy, even as I build more and more troopies as well, which means maybe as long as we're, you know, somewhat stable, maybe we will be taking a war against the Ottomans, which of course will be very satisfying for me. Okay, this guy's in dry lands. This is the perfect place to tear him to pieces and hopefully make short work of this war. So we are technically integrating Russia at a faster rate right now. Although... Okay, 35,000, eh? Yeah, we're not gaining any diplo. If we overextend, we do gain diplo. I mean, we can afford, though, to be fall behind in diplo a bit here. So that's why I'm not making a move yet. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I have to be really careful that we only take our claims from Lithuania and the Livonian Order and don't spend diplo. No, counter-reformation removed from Hungary. So I think that helps us like a tiny bit with our 5% or something tech cost, but we just lost our missionaries. Yeah, 2 missionaries lost, which is a shame. If we gain Jerusalem or Mecca, we would gain another missionary. So Jerusalem's pretty close. If I was trying for it, we could... God dang it, dude. Can you seriously just siege that up? If I was trying for it, we could get Jerusalem pretty quickly. Oh my god, he's gone up to 117k. Pay off a loan there. Ottomans going stronger and stronger. It's kind of sad, guys, that, like, I don't think the Ottomans are just a easy breezy right now. Quite frankly, I think it's kind of sad. But did you guys see just how potato our AI allies went in, like, their previous war against them? It's pretty upsetting stuff, man. I think it's pretty upsetting stuff. Like, the 80k from... Okay. We just got a nice CB against Lithuania. Sweet. Sweet. When does our truce come up with him? 4 years' time. Great. Thank goodness for that. So, we're going to essentially take everything that borders us, which is a lot. Excellent. And not worry about diplo. So, Lithuania is going to be all but entirely fully annexed in a few years' time, which is really good. Okay, we're taking out the rebel factions. So what other kind of factions do we have? We've still got some Africans, but they're not as strong, which is good. And taking out Morocco, although it is taking its time. Maybe let's not acquire Fez and just go for his troops here. If he's walking down to the south, he might go behind that mountains fort. It's a really dumb place to fight him as well, is in the mountains. But his capital is a mountains fort as well. I could actually... what kind of navy does he have? Yeah, we got some heavies. Are they our heavies though? I don't think we have any heavies. It's mostly Russia. We've got 1 heavy. We can demoralize him a little bit there by moving our heavies out to the coast, is what I'm trying to say. Alrighty, now we got a good amount of troops here, but they're all wounded. So we should be able to handle those Africans now, given some time. Yeah, I think if we can just keep catching these soldiers, it's going to lower his enthusiasm. Let's see how much it costs. Oh no! Yearly corruption for 10 years, eh? It's 0.10 though, that's nothing. That's the obvious choice over the inflation. Our inflation is too high. So let us see how much it costs to take that. Okay. Both in war score and overextension, not that big of a deal. So let's try join it up. Let's go for that. And then we can fully annex him. I actually quickly want to check. Can we just go for full annexation? No, we can't. So this is what we're going for. And no more raiding from pirates, right? That's the thing of the past. Cool. Because that bloody raiding is bloody upsetting, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's keep using our diplomats. A lot of these guys just hate us. Try to improve relations with them, and by guys I mean heretics inside the empire. Really, really mad at us. It's kind of strange that Castile even exists at all. Why does the AI... Hey, that's what I was going to say, which I forgot in between episodes. If the Ottomans declare on Persia, I'm going to be way more compelled to declare on him. Because Persia's actually pretty strong now. They're the same tech. Cool. So I think for real, next episode, guys, we're going to be going in against the Ottomans. He is going to be... fighting out in the east big time, so I just have to be really smart about my own moves. But thankfully the Ottomans, including the capital here, have low fort levels, so I think with the amount of cannons we have in our siege generals, we can just like insta-siege their stuff if his guys aren't ready to fight us in the mountains, and then those mountain forts will be ours instead of his. Cool. So this is going to give a few months for him to be fighting out, move a lot of his troops out to the east. I think the Bohemians, etc. will help us. As we should expect. Hopefully the Prussians will as well. I do have 10 favors with Prussia again. Great. So, yes, it is finally time to redeem ourselves. We can actually tick ahead of the Ottomans, so it'll be interesting to see if they tick up to 21, because that one tick is pretty significant. And I should also be looking for discipline. God dang it, +3 advisor. Now, how much have people invested? 30. Bohemia is only 30 in France. 30, guys, for 15%. Ugh. The thing is, if we became Pope, the reduced advisor cost 20% is huge. Because I want to be hiring improved... Nice, get some Diplo points here. I want to be hiring better advisors, like higher level. That's a way that we can get some monarch points, like our Diplo, that we're not gaining anything at all right now. Oh, I just realized that Morocco's fort level is 7. And actually, if we take his capital, then we don't have to deal with that fort in the previous war. I might take Fez here, guys, actually. In the previous war, in the next war that we fight him. Yeah, I might take Fez, actually, at the end of this war. Manpower and mercantilism, fine. Hungary has 5%. Hungary has almost 10%. Hungary has 13%. That's all we can do. Hungary has 17%. So we're on par with the Pope, which is always the case. We're actually ahead of everybody. Statistically more likely than anybody else to become the Pope, apart from the Pope, obviously, the Papal State. But, still, doesn't mean that it's likely. It's only 17%. But it would be really nice, really, really nice if we did get elected. Alrighty, now here's the moment of truth. Can we reach? No, I can't, because I can't even click on the provinces, so we know that. I can't afford to explore, honestly, guys. That is something that I considered. These trade companies, though, they're worth it. It's going to be worth it, the 50 points, I think. Oh, man. Maybe, look, Russia already has some colonies out here. Maybe I should just abandon the colonial stuff in that sense. I mean, we are going to integrate Russia as well. We will have completed that at this point. It's a shame, man. We're getting close to imperialism, which is just going to allow us to declare on someone like Kilwa and set up a trading company. It's not worth the Diplo. It's a shame. The colonizing has been a little bit of a failure, honestly. But, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and colonize my own territory so that we don't piss off the Pope anymore. And it will kind of irritate me if somebody does it to us. So there we go. Colonial activity was a little bit of a fail. Okay, that African's about to be taken out. Very good. So it's just Fez now. Fez, I mean Morocco now. And let's just do that for now. Yeah, so next episode, guys, we are going to go in against the Ottomans, which is what I said we might do this episode, but I changed my mind. Let's spend a big chunk of our admin, so I'm feeling better about the fact that it's getting very high, and then we're going to be going in against the Ottomans, and hopefully, I'm hoping that, you know, the Persians put up a bit of a fight. Persia, that's a big Persia, dude. That is a big Persia. And they do, you know, the Ottomans will be assaulting forts within, you know, mountains and so on. So there's really no excuse. I'll tell you what, if I was playing Persia, I'd have pretty good. I wouldn't feel that uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. At trying to fight the Ottomans in a defensive battle. Imperial authority is getting higher and higher. And speaking of imperial authority, I can add that province. Yeah, also I gotta make sure to remember to release Circassia. Genoa is a fairly large nation that could be enforced religion on if we had the relations with him. But it's getting to a point where it's not going to take too long. Like if we fight one big war against Lithuania and we add his provinces, we're getting closer and closer. Become papal controller. That's a decent mission. Tolerance to true faith, imperial, papal influence. But yeah, god dang it. I guess I should boost even higher here with our papal influence. Let's quickly smash these guys while they're on the mountains here. If I attach one of my generals, this should be one of my generals. We don't have generals. Let's hire a general. We're going to need them if we go in against the Ottomans. And we got some more African separatists spawning, which I actually suspected would happen. That's okay. Yeah, so the whole idea that I had between like allying Prussia is to get 200 relations with him and therefore hoping that we could get his vote. Because I literally can't make him any smaller in order to enforce his religion. The only way we could make Prussia smaller is if we attacked someone like Poland, draw him into a war to defend Poland, defeat him ourselves, and release nations from him. That's the only way we could make him any smaller. And honestly, we could release like Lithuania when we fully annex Lithuania, and he would be a Catholic member. No, not a Catholic, but he would be a member of the Empire. But then we would need to re-ally Prussia and then improve relations with him further to acquire his vote again, you know? It's a pretty rough circumstance. The alternative is that we just get claim on his territory when he doesn't revoke. And he's only 2 wars worth of feeding. We just feed him to the Empire, feed him to other factions like Lubeck, Mecklenburg, Teutonic Order. So that is definitely an impossibility as well. I'm definitely taking Fez to try to avoid dealing with his fort level 7. And that's going to be the end of this episode, I think, right? I get lost, guys. I go crazy. I think it's been over half an hour already. So we'll be doing something like that. Definitely trying to take away his coastline still. And power projection is not looking so good. Which means yet more incentive to... Okay, we might as well 100% overextend, eh? If I'm going to be fighting one big war against the Ottomans. Cool. Yeah. Great. Alright, we achieved both. We got Fez. So we don't have to deal with that next time, and we, no more raiding. Excellent. Now that's a lot. Spending a lot. Uh-oh. Russia is mad with us. So let's look for a place. One of these low developed steppe provinces should be cheap. 45. Cool. Wow, such an easy solution, man. I wish I knew about that, but that's my own fault. I go into this blind, basically. It's not blind, is it? But it's, I go in noob. And I hope, maybe you guys hate me for doing that, actually, come to think of it. Maybe I should be more responsible and go in when I know what I'm doing. But I was kind of hoping that you guys, part of the playing hardcore, part of the not resetting, not re-rolling my luck, hoping that people kind of appreciated that and respected that about me. But either way, guys, this is an opportunity that we can efficiently get some stuff. And by stuff, I mean absolutism. By harsh treating these guys for 50s. And with that in mind, let's go fight the Ottomans. So Moroccans are probably going to revolt, but it is what it is. So next episode, guys, I'm going to be spending a big chunk of money and a big chunk of our manpower, which we have quite a lot of, to build up a large amount of troops. I want to be prepped and ready to just go straight in against his low-level forts. And it looks like at the moment, yeah, exactly what I was hoping for. The Ottomans are embroiled in a pretty stagnant war at the moment with Persia. Neither one or the other is doing incredibly well. He's only got 100k, so, and his manpower is diminished. Excellent. So we're going to be building up like another big stack at least. And let's quickly check, actually, before I end the episode here, whether or not people will back us up. Let's quickly check that out. I'd be interested to see who helps us in this war. Nobody. God dang it. It's just the distance, basically, that has ruined that. But, of course, nobody does not include Russia, guys, who is our subject, who will contribute. So it's basically going to be us versus them. But I'd be content. I'd really be content with them dawdling rather than expanding into Hormuz, Oman, etc. like they have been forever. I'd really be content with them maybe even losing to Prussia to Persia, while we take a chunk of land ourselves. So that's going to be next episode, is basically us versus the Ottomans. I can take ahead of them, although I don't think they have any reason not to take up themselves. They probably will at some point. And yay, an affordable discipline advisor. Cool. So I'll use my manpower modifier here till the last limit, as it is actually paying off for us using that. And it is time to go in against the Ottomans and hopefully redeem myself for the, what was it, 3 episodes ago where I failed in a war against them. Take a big chunk. That will be satisfying, and that will all be land that we can add to the Empire. Speaking of which, let's add that. Oh, and before I forget, let's release Circassia. I don't think any of these are 10 development. No, they're not. So let's give them the cheapest, lowest developed province. Ah, no, fail. It's okay. Georgia. Circassia, there we go. Ah, that was a fail. I didn't read that. This bloody guy had it. Okay, that's alright. We integrate it all for free when we revoke. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.